Pope Leo has called for the disarming of artificial intelligence in his long-awaited manifesto on the rapidly developing technology. The pontiff presented his first encyclical, Magnificat Humanitas, in person, alongside AI experts, including the co-founder of US giant Anthropic. Leo also issued an unprecedented apology for the Vatican's role in justifying slavery and said the delay in condemning the practice was a wound in Christian memory. Well, for more on this, we can cross to Rome correspondent Hannah Roberts. Hannah, can you tell us more about what an encyclical is and why it's important?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. An encyclical is a highly authoritative papal document that imparts social or moral teaching to the entire Catholic Church. They're pretty rare. Pope Francis, Leo's predecessor, only came out with a handful of these, and this is Leo's first after a year in office. It's extremely rare that he presented it in person. And you might also think it's quite rare that for the world's oldest institution to be coming out with an encyclical on AI. But Leo actually is a mathematics graduate, and as an American, he's from the land of Silicon Valley. So perhaps it makes more sense than other popes that we've seen before this.
And so what does what we heard in this tell us about the new pope?
Well, this is a sweeping manifesto calling on leaders to regulate AI, raising all sorts of concerns from inequality across the world because only certain countries are really invested in AI, to the displacement of millions or billions of jobs, to young people who could be misled online to be thinking they're in real relationships. But the area that's really got the most focus from this encyclical was Leo's concern about the use of artificial intelligence in warfare. With various conflicts around the world, as we've been seeing, the US, China, Russia, they're all increasingly using AI in surveillance, in target identification. And Leo has called for the disarming of AI. In this, he's not just speaking about speaking metaphorically, he's speaking literally. He said that the use of AI in lethal force should be completely outlawed, and called for leaders to govern this and regulating this. And of course, this sets him on a collision course with the states that are already using it. And with the White House, tensions could be expected to be further raised after his recent disagreements with President Trump.
Tell us more about that. I mean, is this a more forceful tone that we're hearing from the Pope in recent months, especially regarding criticism of Donald Trump's war in Iran?
Yeah, I think we could say that this builds on what Leo has said about the war in Iran, threats to the entire civilization becoming were unacceptable. That's what kicked off the whole conflict between Pope Leo and Trump around a month ago. And Pope Leo has refused to back down from this, saying that he's just going to continue to preach the peace of the gospel. I think it's clear that for the US administration, this encyclical can only be seen as a challenge. The Catholic Church, the Pope, as the leader of the Catholic Church, is the moral authority for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide, including Vice President J.D. Vance. And when he's directly calling on leaders, Catholic leaders around the world, to change their stance, this obviously is has to have an influence. And one of the most interesting, striking things that Leo said was that the Catholic Church is asking, really, with this encyclical, to have a voice at the table. They admit they're not a technological expert, but they say we are experts in what it means to be human. We have 2,000 years of experience in thinking about what it means to be human, and we can bring this to the table. And next to him on the stage was Chris Olah, the co-founder of Anthropic, and he actually said, this is what we need. We in the artificial intelligence community are subject to commercial pressures, our own ambition, pressure from the market. We are not capable of limiting ourselves. What we need is outsiders to help us set limits as what's ethically acceptable.
Hannah Roberts, thank you very much for your take on that.